Hello, friends. Now, let me tell you a story about Mr. Kaju. A fresh graduate from one of the prestigious college of India, sat for campus placement and got job into Tabzon, a well-known IT company. It was a dream come true for him. A package of 12 lakhs offered as a first salary. He was delighted. By simple maths, he calculated that he'll get 1 lakh per month as a salary, after all, as his package was 12 lakhs. After joining, he got a mail from HR department to submit investment declarations for reducing his tax liability. As so many things were going on in his life, a new job, a new city, and a new home. So altogether, this action point was ignored by him. He didn't realize that this will be a problem for him. At the month end, he got a message in his phone, and he was shocked to see that just 85,000 was credited into his account. That was much less than what he expected. He expected a salary of around 1 lakh, after all, as it is written in his offer letter. He was wondering why. Why just 85,000? Well, friends, you also might be thinking of these questions. Why do I have to submit rent receipts to my company? And what is all this about TDS? I don't know what is the full form of it. Well, we'll answer these questions in some time. So let's get started with the basics of income tax. Hello friends, let's get started. Now I'll talk about what is income tax. You know that there is Government of India. It needs to do some expenses. What kind of expenses you might talk about? Let's take making of school, or we can take community welfare, hospitals, or roads. For doing all these things, government needs some revenue, some source of income from which it can take its decision, can make all these things. So one of the sources of this revenue is tax. We'll talk about two sources of tax. Tax which is direct and tax which is indirect. In indirect tax, we talk of the most commonly known is GST, which is goods and service tax, which you pay when you buy any goods. Like suppose when you are buying headphones, suppose these headphones cost 100 rupees, then you have to pay 18 rupees as GST to the government. In total you pay 118 rupees, 18 rupees goes to the government, while 100 rupees goes to the trader. Now example of indirect tax which we commonly known is income tax, on which we are focusing today. So who all have to pay income tax? First, salaried individuals like you. Second, it will be companies, let's say Reliance Industries Limited, or we can take Infosys. All these companies work and they earn profit. They have to pay tax on the revenue that they earn. We can take more examples like cooperative societies like Amul, and there are many different sources. What are the sources of these incomes? Well, income tax has divided that income can be earned through majorly 5 sources: salary, income from house property, profits and gains from business and profession, capital gains, and fifth is other sources. Salary, I don't think that I need to explain what comes under salary. Income from house property, you'll see
rent revenue that you might get if you are putting your house on rent. Profits and gains from business and professions. In this will come like the profit that a businessman earns and like companies earn. While capital gain, if when you sell any property. Property will include like your land sale, house sale, shares. This comes under capital gains. And other sources of income includes like if you are earning dividend on your shares. We'll be focusing on this thing, salary, because this video is focused on salaried individuals. Now let's talk about HRA. In the example that we took, one second, this is the offer letter of Mr. Kaju. We can see that he is earning 12 lakhs per annum as a salary. His salary breakup is basic, dearness allowance, HRA, LTA, employer's contribution to provident fund, gratuity and bonus. So for calculating his HRA, we need to focus on his basic and dearness allowance salary and HRA amount. So we can note it down that basic amount is 6 lakhs, dearness allowance amount is 60,000 and HRA amount is 3 lakhs. Let's come here. For HRA calculation, let's note it down. His basic salary is 6 lakhs. His dearness allowance that he gets from his company is 60,000 and HRA that he gets is 3 lakhs. Okay. HRA is house rent allowance. Like income tax give you an exemption on the HRA amount that you are earning. So not this 3 lakhs fully won't be taxable. Only a limited amount will be taxable. But we need to calculate exemption of HRA. What kind of exemptions do you get? That comes with your rent, the rent that you pay for the house that you live in. Let's suppose in this case Kaju is living in Mumbai and paying a rent of 30,000 per month, which comes to 3,60,000 as his HRA. Let's take it as 20,000, so it will come to 2,40,000 as his rent amount. So how do we calculate this amount? HRA calculation, we have to consider 3 categories of amounts. First is the actual HRA, which comes to 3 lakhs. Second is 40% or 50% of basic plus DA. What will come under basic? 6 lakhs figure. I guess now you can see it. What will come under basic? 6 lakhs. What will come under DA? 60,000. Total will be 6,60,000. 40 or 50% of this amount. So what comes under this 40 and 50%?
Yeah, so 50% figure comes for Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata and Delhi, while for rest of India it is 40%. So if you are living in Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata and Delhi, then you will get 50% benefit here, otherwise you will get 40% benefit.
Taking that he is living in Mumbai, so we'll take 50% of this amount, which comes to 3,30,000. Third amount is little bit complicated. Rent minus 10% of basic plus DA. What is the rental amount of this person? We took it as 2,40,000 for assuming that it is 20,000 per month, it is 2,40,000 rent. While 10% of his salary that we calculated earlier is 66,000. That comes to around 1,74,000. Is the calculation correct? Let me check. Yes, it is correct. So now you need to calculate lower of these three amounts. Out of 3 lakhs, 3,30,000 and 1,74,000, the lowest amount is 1,74,000. So when you will calculate taxability of HRA amount, out of these 3 lakhs, which is your HRA amount, you will get an exemption of 1,74,000. So your taxability will be 1,26,000. Is the calculation correct? Oh yes, it's correct. So now let's see the planning part. Where can we save our taxes? These three amounts. See, your basic and DA will normally be same in the company, and this figure will normally get in your offer letter. Here in this case, basic and DA is 6 lakhs and 60,000. This thing you cannot change. But normally companies give you an option to change your HRA amount. This you can plan and change it to like 3 lakhs. You can increase it to 3,50,000 or you can reduce it to 2,50,000. So this is negotiable. So you can negotiate on this part. When it comes to basic plus DA, which is normally fixed by companies, 50 or 40%, this amount you cannot change anything. This amount also 10% of basic plus DA, which you cannot do anything with it. But rent amount, this is where you can change, which makes all the things to change. See, what the government wants to tell is rent amount and you are reducing 10% of basic and DA. That means rent amount in excess of 10% of your basic and DA. That amount will come here. And here, suppose, let's say for ease, it will take it as 50%. So the upper limit is 50% of your basic and DA. That amount will come here. Now if I increase this rent to suppose 60% of basic and DA, which comes to around let's take 100% of basic and DA, which comes to 6,60,000 minus 10%, it will come to minus 66,000, it will come to 5,94,000. So in that case, lower amount will be what? 3,30,000. So what income tax wants to say is, keep your rental amount at least above 10% of your basic plus DA, but up to 50% within this range, not more than that. Because if it is more than that, suppose let's take, if it was here 100%, then lower amount will be 3,30,000. You will get exemption of 3,30,000 here, and your taxability will be nil.